See? I think I did it. Today.
I think you do.
That is a pained smile if I've ever seen one. But today,
It's just because it's 5:01.
Yeah, that's
Still
right.
waking up.
Which we understand. It'd be weird if you didn't feel that way.
Exactly.
But today's weather actually really nice. It's a fairly pleasant winter day, but changes are coming, and you're going to notice that as a breezy wind picks up this evening. But until then, we get to enjoy milder conditions and a little bit of sunshine for your Monday. 36 right now under a clear sky in the park. It is colder in the suburbs, of course. Just 23 in Morristown and Somerville, 26 in Poughkeepsie, 28 in Belmar. So, of course, coat's still on as you head out the door, but encouraging to see a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky today, and highs coming about 5 above normal. But it doesn't last long. This is the front that we're watching. That's going to swing through wind tonight and knock our highs back to the freezing mark tomorrow. So pretty steep drop in temperature. We're losing about 10 degrees between today and tomorrow, but we still have today. And you see the mix of sun and clouds as our highs climb to the low to mid 40s. Again, that's about 5 above normal and a couple degrees warmer than yesterday, so a milder one in general. But that comes to a close tomorrow. Even by tonight, you're noticing the breeze, and we're back to blustery and much colder tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, before slightly milder conditions return by the end of the week. I'll have the full forecast coming up. Heather?
All right, Dani, we're going to go to North Massapequa, where we do have this fatal accident that happened at 11:15 last night. We are now hearing that 2 people have died. Southern State Parkway, eastbound Route 107. It's that overturned vehicle. All lanes are closed down. Traffic's being diverted off at exit 29. You're seeing video now of this accident where there was debris scattered everywhere. This looks like it was quite an impact that happened here. All lanes remain closed down, so you want to avoid that if you can avoid that area. Let me show you how it looks where you are being diverted off of the roadway. You can see we already have traffic backed up here, exiting on at exit 29 because of this accident. You want to avoid the Southern State Parkway. You can go down to Sunrise Highway, which looks like a very good alternate side of the street. Parking rules are in effect. Mike, over to you.
Heather and Dani, thank you. 5:03 here in the east.
13 now on our Monday morning. We're waking up to temperatures in the 20s and 30s across the tri-state. Coat weather, obviously, it's January. But heading into this afternoon, guess what? Temperatures about 5 above normal, and we'll get a little sunshine. You got to take advantage of today because we do have some changes coming. Right now, a mix of cloud cover, partly cloudy skies, what we'll call it, as the sun rises at about 7:19 this morning. Temperature of 33 in Bridgeport, 36 in the city, 28 in Belmar. Our temperatures make their way to the low to mid 40s today. We're about 2 degrees warmer than yesterday and about 5 above normal. And yesterday was the first day that the park hit the 40s since January 2nd. It's been a really cold stretch of weather, and unfortunately, we're right back to those colder conditions tomorrow. But today, things look good under that mix of sun and clouds. We will stay dry as we move into the bulk of the work week, just the blustery wind and colder conditions. But we are seeing a rain chance as we head into the weekend. I'll have details on that coming up. Heather?
All right, Dani, let's go back out to North Massapequa on the Southern State Parkway east of 107. Accident involving that overturned vehicle. 2 fatalities have been reported. All lanes are closed. All that traffic is being diverted off at exit 29. So you can see there's a little bit of a backup here as everybody exits there where that roadway is completely shut down. You can go with Sunrise Highway as your alternate path trains. Those new fares are in effect. Other mass transit systems doing okay. Street cleaning rules are in effect. Mike, Shirlene, over to you.
All right, thanks. That is a big concern, especially into tomorrow as well.
Yeah, so a red flag warning in effect, but then the National Weather Service in the area issued that particularly dangerous situation red flag warning. That is the highest threat level that the Weather Service has to issue. That one begins tomorrow through Wednesday, so we're not done yet. I'll have a look at that map in a second. Right now, mostly clear sky. The sun rises in 2 hours at 7:19, and we will see some sunshine today as temperatures end up even milder than yesterday. On Long Island, 20s and 30s. West Hampton at 28. We're at 37 out in Hampton Bays, 36 in Roslyn. For Fairfield County, Greenwich and Danbury both at 29. It's a little colder as you look north of New York City. 26 in Poughkeepsie, where we're at 36 in the park, 28 down the shore for Belmar. Here's where we're heading. It'll end up being a fairly pleasant winter day with temperatures a couple degrees warmer than yesterday and about 5 above normal. Forecast high of 44 in the park as we zoom into Nassau County here. Looking good for your Monday afternoon. Babylon, Levittown topping out near 43 degrees. Roslyn, Hempstead, Freeport all at 44 today. So again, yes, coat weather because it's January, but for this time of the year, these temperatures should feel fairly pleasant. And today, this morning, not bad either. The satellite and radar pretty quiet. We'll wake up to a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky, and that's how we'll stay through the bulk of the afternoon. But this is the feature on the way that'll kick up the wind for this evening and bring us a drop in temperature by about 10 degrees tomorrow. So colder, windier conditions on the way. That high pressure system setting up over the Four Corners region, of course, that is ushering in these really gusty winds back to Southern California today. Particularly dangerous situation. That PDS distinction is something the National Weather Service averages to issue about, once every 5 to 10 years. We've seen We've seen 4 of them now in the past 3 months in Southern California, and that just tells you how serious of a situation this is. Not only are they dealing with extremely dry brush, but now extremely low relative humidity as our gusts pick up 45 to 50 miles per hour in the valleys and about 70 miles per hour in the mountains. So once again, we are seeing really serious situation develop there, and we're going to have to keep a close eye on the fire threat for the next several days. Wetter conditions are expected by the end of the week in an increase in relative humidity. That's encouraging. Today here, it's a mix of sun and clouds as we put Futurecast into play. As the sun rises this morning, partly cloudy and cold, 20s and 30s, but this afternoon looks better. Temperatures topping out low to mid 40s under that mix of sun and clouds. But the breeze picks up this afternoon and evening as the front moves through. That could usher in a few flurries, but mainly what we'll notice is the increase in wind speed today and then the colder conditions tomorrow. Our highs fall about 10 degrees just to the freezing mark for tomorrow, so that's going to feel a whole lot different. You see the wind steadily picking up today under the mix of sun and clouds. Forecast high of 44. So about 5 above normal under that mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky. Tonight, breezy, wind chill in the teens, and then tomorrow, that forecast high of 32 will feel like 20s with the wind. We stay with highs close to the freezing mark through Thursday. Heather?
Okay, so about 11:15 last night, there was an accident involving one vehicle. In that vehicle were 4 occupants. 2 of them have passed away, and then we have the other 2 that are in very serious condition. So this is the scene of the accident from earlier. You can see that vehicle completely flipped over on its roof. Ambulance is on the scene. There's debris scattered all over the roadway. This is a reminder to please keep your speeds down. All of that traffic's being diverted off at exit 29. Alternate side of the street parking rules are in effect. Shirlene and Mike, over to you.
Best day of the week?
I think so. I think it's my pick of the week because I like the milder conditions, and temperatures today end up about 5 warmer than average and about 2 degrees warmer than yesterday, but it doesn't last long. We're right back to highs close to freezing by tomorrow. Right now, 36 degrees in the park. It is the mild spot in the city where many of our suburbs are in the 20s. 23 in Morristown and Somerville, 26 in Poughkeepsie, Bridgeport, just above freezing at 33. Satellite and radar quiet this morning, though. So as the sun rises at 7:19, we'll see a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky and temperatures that end up in the low to mid 40s. But this is the front on the way. It picks up the breeze to us today and brings back blustery conditions tomorrow as our highs fall more than 10 degrees back to the freezing mark. So much colder, much windier as we move into Tuesday. But today we're sitting in a good spot. You see the mix of sun and clouds and highs that'll end up in the low to mid 40s. Fairly comfortable, fairly pleasant for this time of year. But tomorrow much colder and windier, and those highs near freezing settle in for a few days. I'll have the full forecast coming up. But Heather, I hear you have an update for us?
Yes, we do have an update in North Massapequa on the Southern State Parkway. All lanes were closed down after a deadly crash from the overnight. Everything is now reopened. Southern State Parkway east of Route 107. This was the scene last night with that vehicle flipped over on its roof. There was debris all over the roadway here. It took quite a while to get that all cleaned up. Sadly, 2 people died in this crash. 2 people are also in serious condition. Now let's head over here and just show you how the roadway is looking at this point. All lanes have been reopened, and the Taconic South near Peekskill Hollow Road, we had an overturned vehicle, but it looks as though that is in the process of clearing, and we have street cleaning rules in effect. Shirlene, over to you.
All right, thanks so much.
5:43 now on our Monday morning. Lucky us, a milder day ahead of us. Temperatures will come in about 5 above normal, a couple degrees warmer than yesterday. But big changes as we work into Tuesday. Our highs fall more than 10 degrees. And in fact, even where we're sitting right now in the park, warmer than we'll be at any point tomorrow. 36 is what we're waking up to in Manhattan. 31 for Islip. We're at 26 in Poughkeepsie. And down the shore this morning, mid-20s for Wrightstown. As we head into this afternoon, expect a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky. Healthy mix of sun and clouds with our temperatures moving into the low to mid 40s. For this time of year, that is considered fairly mild, especially when coupled with some sunshine. I do think it's pretty pleasant as you move out and about today. On Futurecast, showing a few clouds swinging through. Not much of a rain or snow chance today, but what this can't show you is the wind. A breeze picks up for the second half of your Monday associated with that cold front, and that will bring in gusts 30, 35 miles per hour tomorrow as our highs fall close to freezing. That begins Tuesday and it lasts at least through Thursday. I'll let you know when we warm up again in the AccuWeather forecast. But Heather, it's been a busy morning. Are things quieting down?
A little bit. They're quieting down a little bit. The Taconic South near Peekskill Hollow Road, we have word that there is an overturned vehicle there. We did have delays earlier, but it looks really clear getting down into that spot. But there are reports that that overturned vehicle is still there. Southern State Parkway east at Route 107, accident involving the overturned vehicle has been cleared away. All lanes have been reopened, and the Haverstraw-Ossining Ferry suspended because of icing conditions on the Hudson River. Alternate side of the street parking rules are in effect. Mike and Charlene, over to you.
All right, thank you.
I love
Okay.
making fun of Mike.
I
It
know.
truly is a joy.
It is a day.
Talk about nice weather today.
Yes.
Relatively speaking.
Relatively, yes.
Oh, okay, 44 degrees. It's not necessarily tropical. But for this time of year, it is considered a little bit more mild. But we do have some big changes coming. Right now, 36 degrees under a mostly clear sky. The sun rises at 7:19. In North Jersey, we are seeing some cold spots. Hanover and Franklin each at just 21 degrees this morning, 23 in Bridgewater. Just below freezing for Newark, but hailed in at the freezing mark, 32. Mild spot seems to be the metro area, 36 in the park right now. Out east, Montauk's at 37. We're just above freezing. Bridgeport, we're in the upper 20s for Belmar. But here's where we're heading. Under a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky, forecast high in the low to mid 40s should feel fairly pleasant. It's a couple degrees warmer than yesterday and about 5 above normal. And even Elizabeth could hit 46 today. East Orange and North Bergen at 45. Jefferson a little colder at 41. Same for Frieden. Looks like 44 today in Bedminster. But the satellite and radar starting clear and quiet. So as the sun rises, nice to see we get a sunny start to the day. A few clouds in the mix come this afternoon. What you really notice about today is that steady breeze increasing throughout the day, and that's a sign of what's to come as this cold front inches closer. It brings back gusty conditions tomorrow and drops highs about 10 degrees. So tomorrow is feeling much colder. We're right back to highs close to freezing, but for today we get the nicer conditions. Looking at futurecasts as we approach sunrise, mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Temperatures today starting in the 20s and 30s, but our highs this afternoon are a touch milder than what is considered average for this time of year. But by this point, this is about 3:15, that's when we start to notice that breezy wind picking up, and that front could also bring in a few flurries, mainly north and west of New York City, but it's something we're watching. The front clears the area overnight into tomorrow morning as the colder air starts to filter in behind it. This means temperatures tomorrow morning starting out noticeably colder than this morning, and with the wind on top of it, air temperature in the 20s will feel like teens, and air temperature tomorrow afternoon capped close to freezing, feeling like 20s because of the wind. This is a little more similar to what we felt last week, right? It's back to the more frigid conditions, so enjoy the milder weather today while we have it. Mild, yes, in terms of temperature, but that wind is going to increase throughout the day. We end up with gusts between 25 and 30 as we head into tonight. Otherwise, though, things look pretty good out there. Mix of sun and clouds with our highs today in the low to mid 40s. Again, average for today's date is 39, so we're about 5 above that. Not a bad day, even with the breeze. Tonight, that breeze means it'll feel like teens, and tomorrow, we're right back to the blustery and cold conditions. Forecast highs landing close to the freezing mark, and with gusts to 30, 35, it will feel like 20s. And it's not just tomorrow. We stay cold Wednesday and Thursday, but we'll start to thaw out again as we head toward the weekend. Heather?
Okay, let's take a look at the Southern State Parkway east of Route 107. Accident involving an overturned vehicle, moved to the shoulder, cleared away. Everything has been reopened. Now, we do have video of that accident. This is how it looked. Last night, it happened around 11:15. 2 people were killed in this crash. We have 2 people in serious condition. You can see all of that debris that was scattered about. So please keep your speeds down as you travel. Now, let's go over here and show you how it looks at this point. You can see that the roadway is completely reopened. Now, as far as our ferries are concerned, the Haverstraw-Ossining Ferry suspended because of icing conditions on the Hudson River. We have alternate side of the street parking rules in effect. Mike and Charlene, over to you.
All right, thanks.